90-Day Fiancés Sarper and Shekinah finally reveal if they're getting divorced amid tell-all drama. 90-Day Fiancé couple Shekinah Garner and Sarper Güven responded to divorce rumors after revealing marriage problems at the tell-all. Sarper and Shekinah's journey began during The Other Way Season 5 with the Turkish man revealing his bad boy past. Sarper shed his old ways for Shekinah as he moved to the US in 90-Day Fiancé Season 11. The couple ended up getting married on a bed. Shekinah and Sarper admitted their marriage was already on the rocks within a year of getting married at the reunion, but does it mean they're getting divorced? At 90-Day Fiancé _Alexa shared a clip from Shekinah and Sarper being interviewed for the Sarah Fraser show where they were asked to address their divorce rumors. "We're happy. We try to be happy," Sarper replied. He added that while getting married is a difficult thing, they're still trying their best. Sarper mentioned how they have problems and a lot of ups and downs, but they still love each other. "I hope she loves me." Shekinah spoke about how neither of them actually wanted to get married. Sarper had been married before, and they thought they could live forever happy together without having that commitment. However, they had to marry because of the K-1 visa. Shekinah admitted that it was something that scared both of them, and they had a betting since it was the least scary place for them. What Shekinah saying they never wanted to get married means. What's causing problems between Sarper and Shekinah? Shekinah and Sarper previously spoke about how they never wanted to get married during their debut season. They didn't think they needed some kind of documentation to prove their love and commitment to each other. Still, Shekinah kept flying back and forth from Los Angeles to Istanbul to be with Sarper, and it was getting hectic. It was an expensive affair for Sarper as he struggled to book female clients. Shekinah didn't trust him around other women, but she also wanted him to pay for her flights and expenses in Turkey. Eventually, they thought it was best for Sarper to relocate to America. He developed cold feet one too many times and almost gave up. Sarper didn't like being dependent on Shekinah. He craved independence, but it looks like he's finally standing on his feet as he stars in stand-up shows and conducts fitness workshops. Shekinah and Sarper have always had arguments on 90-Day Fiancé and almost broke up. Sarper has yet to discuss what the problems in their marriage are. Our take on Sarper and Shekinah possibly still having marriage problems. What's next for Sarper and Shekinah on 90-Day Fiancé? It appears that Sarper and Shekinah will appear in 90-Day, The Last Resort Season 3 next. They are dealing with issues that are worse than the ones that 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Couples have. There might be something that still holds them together as they navigate life together after 90-Day Fiancé Season 11. Hopefully, therapy helps them figure that out. 90-Day Fiancé exposes disturbing Shekinah Garner behavior amid huge Sarper-Güven relationship update. Shekinah Garner from 90-Day Fiancé has been indulging in some toxic behavior in her on and off relationship with Sarper-Güven ahead of their wedding. Shekinah and Sarper are currently appearing in 90-Day Fiancé Season 11. He had a terrible reputation following his The Other Way debut because of his past involving 2,500 women. Sarper was also controlling and did things like tracking Shekinah's weight and diet. Sarper changed his ways for Shekinah ahead of his US move, but the tables turned, and Shekinah revealed that she's just as controlling when the ball is in her court. Shekinah and Sarper will have another argument in the next episode, and it's resulting in 90-Day Fiancé exposing a vile thing Shekinah has done to her partner. ET shared a preview of the next 90-Day Fiancé Season 11 episode, which shows Shekinah telling the producers about their latest argument. Shekinah and Sarper were supposed to get married, and a day before their wedding, he left the house without telling her. While thinking about where he could have possibly gone, Shekinah recalls that she put an AirTag on his keychain. "I put an AirTag on Sarper's keychain because if he loses his keys we need to be able to find them," Shekinah tells the producers with a sneaky smile. However, when the producers prod her to tell them the real reason she put an AirTag on his keychain, she reveals that it's because he doesn't share his location with her on maps. Shekinah believes that it is suspicious and shady if a person is against sharing their location in a relationship. What Shekinah's toxic behavior says about relationship with Sarper. Shekinah's lack of trust could ruin the wedding. Shekinah knew Sarper had never been in a serious relationship before her. Even in his 40s, he seemed unsure how to act around women. He claimed to have slept with thousands of partners, keeping a tally of them in a notebook. Most, he said, were women he met while working as an exotic dancer. Sarper even collected empty alcohol bottles in his apartment as trophies to remember his dates. Concerned about his past, Shekinah banned him from training female clients at work. Though hesitant, Sarper eventually gave in when Shekinah pushed him to make their relationship Instagram official. Shekinah is about to marry Sarper, but with just one day left, she still doesn't trust him. She may have made a mistake agreeing to the wedding, especially since it meant uprooting Sarper from his home. By tracking Sarper's location, Shekinah is violating his privacy and coming across as controlling or manipulative. If Sarper finds out, he may never trust her again. This breach of trust could push him to call off the wedding altogether. He already seems to have cold feet, which might explain why he left the house without telling her. Our take on Shekinah tracking Sarper through GPS. Why Shekinah and Sarper's marriage may not last. Shekinah didn't appear to ask for Sarper's permission before secretly placing an AirTag in his keychain. He was already unhappy in America, especially since he couldn't work, and admitted to feeling depressed. Shekinah's actions reflect her deep insecurity and a lack of open communication in the relationship. Her need to track him without his knowledge raises red flags. Even if they go through with the wedding on 90 Day Fiancé, the trust issues between them suggest the marriage won't last and could likely end in divorce. The foundation of their relationship already seems shaky. Everything changed. 90 Day Fiancé. Why Shekinah and Sarper's marriage fell apart in 4 months. Shekinah Garner and Sarper Güven's betting on 90 Day Fiancé did not have a happily ever after ending for the couple. Shekinah and Sarper were first seen in The Other Way Season 5, in which the Los Angeles-based single mom traveled to Turkey to live with Sarper. Shekinah had met Sarper on a dating app and became his first girlfriend, despite Sarper being 45 years old. Sarper had been married in the past, but he'd never been serious about any woman until he crossed paths with Shekinah. Meanwhile, she helped Sarper erase his bad boy past. Sarper and Shekinah disagreed over the idea of having kids or him still keeping trophies that reminded him of the 2,500-plus women he'd bedded before her. While Sarper moved to the U.S. on 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, he was not too keen on marrying Shekinah and only did it because the clock on his K-1 visa was ticking, and he wanted to be together with her. Sarper and Shekinah eventually married in a unique 90 Day Fiancé wedding on a bed. While theirs was celebrated as the 90th wedding in the 90 Day Fiancé franchise, it fizzled quickly. What Sarper and Shekinah revealed about their marriage on Tell All. Sarper and Shekinah reveal major issues at the reunion. Sarper and Shekinah arrived separately at the reunion in New York. Sarper admitted he regretted marrying Shekinah. He said they would have been happier if they hadn't gotten married. Sarper told host Sean Robinson that their married life was a roller coaster with its ups and downs. Shekinah claimed that their honeymoon period was over really fast, and they didn't even have a honeymoon. It appears Sarper also never bought Shekinah a wedding ring. Shekinah said that their dynamic changed after Sarper came to America, and he struggled to fit in and live in her space, via Extra TV. Just everything changed after we got married, and that was my biggest fear, and it just came true. As per Shekinah, Sarper going through really bad depression brought up a lot of anger from him and her. Sarper had always been a control freak, and losing control in his new life made him feel depressed. He said he didn't like the marriage because it brought a lot of new responsibilities and duties into his life. He felt that being dependent on Shekinah was the biggest nightmare in his life. Both of their egos were big, and they clashed, leading to an avalanche of issues. Sarper and Shekinah had been sleeping in separate rooms. Sarper and Shekinah never wanted to get married. Sarper and Shekinah rejected traditional marriage plans. In October 2023, Shekinah and Sarper were one of the new couples introduced to 90 Day Fiancé, the other way viewers during Season 5. During Q&A sessions on their individual Instagram stories after their debut, both answered fan questions about potential wedding plans. They each revealed they had no intention of walking down the aisle anytime soon. Shekinah was the first to be asked when a wedding might happen, after one follower commented, "Can't wait to see you both as husband and wife," prompting her to explain that marriage wasn't currently in their plans. Shekinah responded to a fan's question by posting a mirror selfie of herself and Sarper in an elevator. Alongside the photo, she shared her perspective on marriage, writing, "Thank you, but we don't really feel like we need to be married in order to be happy together forever." She further elaborated, calling marriage a cultural conditioning and dying institution. Still, Shekinah added that if Sarper were to propose, she would say yes, showing she remained open to the possibility. That being said, "I would still say yes if he asked. He's my forever person," Shekinah confessed. When asked by a fan on Instagram, "Will we be seeing a wedding and children in the future?" Sarper responded with a photo of himself kissing Shekinah. In his reply, he downplayed the importance of a formal ceremony, writing, "Wedding is just a signature on paper. The main thing is putting that signature to heart." His comment suggested that emotional commitment held more value to him than a legal marriage, reflecting the couple's unconventional approach to their relationship. Sarper admitted to getting depressed. Sarper missed the Shekinah he met in Turkey. Sarper admitted to experiencing depression after relocating from Turkey to Los Angeles to be with Shekinah. In a vulnerable moment, he revealed that his emotional state fluctuated between feeling like a 10 or a 1, but he was mostly a 1, indicating persistent low moods. He described feeling useless and overwhelmed by his new environment and lifestyle. At one point, Sarper even confessed he considered buying a one-way ticket back to Turkey to escape the emotional burden. His struggles highlighted the serious mental toll the transition and cultural shift had on him. A major source of Sarper's depression was the sudden loss of independence. Unable to work in the U.S. until after marriage, he felt financially and personally restricted. He openly said he felt like an inmate, frustrated by the lack of freedom in his day-to-day life. Accustomed to being active and self-sufficient in Turkey, Sarper found the adjustment difficult and emotionally draining. The contrast between his old life and the limitations he now faced in Los Angeles left him feeling trapped, deepening his depression and straining his relationship with Shekinah. Shekinah had to make sacrifices in her career. Love came at a cost for Shekinah. Shekinah is a licensed esthetician with over 20 years of experience and made significant career sacrifices to support her relationship with Sarper. Frequent trips to Turkey disrupted her ability to maintain a steady client base, causing financial strain. After relocating to Los Angeles, she lived in a small, costly apartment that doubled as her workspace, limiting business growth. Additionally, Sarper's visa restrictions prevented him from working, increasing financial pressure on Shekinah. Despite these challenges, she remained committed to their relationship, balancing her professional sacrifices with her personal goals. Sarper's bad boy lifestyle still haunts him. Sarper misses his independence after settling down. Sarper was once known for his wild, bad boy lifestyle in Turkey, openly admitting to having slept with over 2,500 women. He embraced a carefree, party-filled life, gaining a reputation as a charismatic playboy who enjoyed dating multiple women without commitment. However, when Sarper met Shekinah, he made a deliberate decision to leave that lifestyle behind. Determined to prove his seriousness, he gave up his partying and casual relationships to focus on building a committed, stable partnership with her, showing a more mature and devoted side. Despite his commitment to Shekinah, Sarper has admitted to missing his past life at times. The excitement, freedom, and social connections he once enjoyed are difficult to forget. Adjusting to a quieter, more responsible lifestyle hasn't been easy, and he has reflected on the fun and wild experiences he left behind. These feelings reveal the personal sacrifices Sarper made for love, highlighting the tension between his desire for stability and the pull of his former bad boy identity. Sarper was fiercely independent, living a playboy lifestyle filled with freedom to meet and date many women without commitment. He enjoyed the excitement and control that came with this life. However, after meeting Shekinah, his world changed. She often tracked his location, causing tension and limiting his independence. Sarper has expressed regret, wishing he had never met her, as the relationship forced him to give up his carefree lifestyle. This loss of freedom and constant oversight left him feeling trapped and conflicted about his new life. Shekinah can never fully trust Sarper. Sarper's history creates doubt in Shekinah's mind. Shekinah struggled to trust Sarper due to his past and ongoing behavior. Sarper admitted to being intimate with nearly 3,000 women, which deeply unsettled her. Despite his claims of faithfulness, Shekinah remains skeptical, questioning whether he can truly change. She has said, if he can't own up to his mistakes, he does not have the type of character I need in a man, and I can't be with him. Past relationships and accusations of dishonesty have intensified her doubts, leaving their future uncertain and their bond strained even after 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 ended. 90 Day Fiancé, Shekinah Garner and Amani Jlassi are enemies now, the drama explained. Shekinah Garner and Amani Jlassi from 90 Day Fiancé are the latest cast members feuding in the franchise, but what really happened between them? Amani is part of the franchise's first ever throuple in 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, living in San Diego with her husband, Amat, and their girlfriend Annie from Mexico. Originally from Tunisia, she moved to the US at 18, speaks 4 languages, and built a career in tech by working for companies like Google, while also founding her own real estate LLC. Amani identifies as bisexual and has been navigating the challenges of polyamory with Matt. Immigration logistics, trust issues, and jealousy became part of Amani and Matt's relationship as they attempted to bring Annie to the US. Meanwhile, Shekinah is an esthetician who appeared on The Other Way and later on Season 11. She has over 20 years of experience in skincare and runs her own beauty studio. Raised in a conservative environment, Shekinah later embraced a more modern lifestyle. She met Sarper Güven while on vacation in Turkey, and about Shekinah at the tell-all. Shekinah thought it was a very calculated move because she never plans what she is going to say in advance. Shekinah felt that Amani trying to premeditate being mean to her said a lot about Amani's character. Like I tried to give her a heads up versus like coming in here and like being rude and bashing her like she is. Amani accused Shekinah of being. Their intense relationship quickly became a central storyline. Their journey features challenges around control, trust, and appearance as they try to build a life together. Amani warned Shekinah about the tell-all. Shekinah was bothered by Amani's threat. When Amani walked in on set, feeling cold thanks to the New York weather, the producer asked her if she had a bit of work done. They wanted to know if she was comfortable sharing the details. Amani revealed that she had done a couple of surgeries. She had gotten a BBL done along with a nose job. Amani admitted that she had felt the pressure to go do all the surgeries so she could fit into the box that society created. However, Amani also added that in the process of doing so, she lost pieces of herself. I'm telling you, if they come at me hard, I'm gonna clap back. Amani was heard telling her husband about her tell-all strategy. She was not going to spare anyone who would criticize her at the reunion. As Sarper and Shekinah walked up to the group of cast members that Amani and Matt were a part of, Shekinah visibly ignored Amani, who was right next to her, and walked up to Mark Bassett to say hi. She then turned her attention to Matt and again ignored Amani. This time, Amani tried to strike up a conversation with Shekinah by asking her, "Wait, did they tell you I'm also wearing green?" Shekinah said no and added that it was fine, since they were different shades of green. Meanwhile, a producer asked Amani about the tension between the two cast members had between them. Amani revealed that she'd proactively tried to reach out to Shekinah to try and build a friendship. However, Shekinah gave her brief, one-word replies. Amani figured that Shekinah didn't want to talk to her, but she couldn't understand why. So yeah, bring it, she warned the cameras. Shekinah and Amani clashed over opinions about surgery. Amani compared her journey to Shekinah's. Sean Robinson asked Shekinah if she had changed her look. Shekinah revealed she got a little lift done to her under eyes after she got her fillers removed. She said the new surgery made her feel natural, like the way she looked before she got her fillers. When she turned to Amani to ask about her procedures, Amani mentioned the body overhaul that she went through and claimed that, unlike Shekinah, it was not something she was proud of. Shekinah declared Amani did the procedures for the wrong reasons. While Shekinah believed she went under the knife to fix things that were bothering her, Amani did it to fit society's standards. Amani said she went through an identity crisis because she didn't look like herself anymore. But you didn't want to look like yourself. That's why you got the surgery, right? Shekinah asked her. Amani said she didn't want to lose who she was and wanted to still look like herself. But then what was the point of getting surgery? Shekinah asked her bluntly. You're rude, replied Amani. Are Shekinah and Amani on the same page now? Were Shekinah and Amani able to become friends? Amani and Shekinah had first talked about plastic surgery during their initial conversation before the tell-all. However, Shekinah didn't like Amani, telling her that while she liked Shekinah, she was sorry in advance for the things she was going